There are three things that many of us carry with us every day that are not considered weapons, but they could be used as one. In this video, I want to put those on display. Stick around. I want to say this early on in the video. I'm only going to cover 3 items. If you have additional ideas, something maybe I didn't cover, drop it in the comments. I'm creating this video to help many of my subscribers and viewers around the world because I've heard what you have to say. And here are some of the comments that are made regularly. We can't have any weapons in our country, or we're not allowed to defend ourselves in our country. And I hear you, and I want to push back on one of those statements, and it's the second one that says we're not allowed to defend ourselves. Well, that's like saying that somebody has the right to kill you. You shouldn't fear going on trial as much as you fear losing your life or losing a loved one. Maybe you're not allowed to carry weapons where you live, but the things I'm going to put on display are not considered weapons because these are things that we carry on a day-to-day basis for general use. Let's start with number 1. Many of us are carrying around car keys just like this. Those of us who don't have some sort of futuristic vehicle that is keyless. Something like this becomes something like this real quick. And if you're facing somebody that's bigger and stronger and you've got the ability to sting them really fast and shock them with something that's not a push dagger but could very easily pose as a push dagger, it could be a game changer. There's a few things to consider with this, such as, will it hurt your hand? Well, it won't be the most comfortable thing in the world, but a car key like this sits really secure in the hand when the fist is clenched. Something like this could penetrate, it could go in, but it may not necessarily either. It's just going to feel very uncomfortable when it makes connection, especially with certain parts of the body. It's not only something you can use as a thrusting object, but you can also scratch with it this way. You could come across and scratch. It's just something to help equalize. You could scratch, come across the face real fast with something like this. It's going to hurt a lot worse than your fingernails would. And it is a car key. Will you get in trouble? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe you will evade the attack quickly and get away and move on about life. It does happen like that sometimes. Number 2 on the list, a flashlight. You know, it's not uncommon to carry a flashlight around with you everywhere you go, especially if you do night travels, walking from one place to your car. You can do several things with a flashlight. You can strike with a flashlight if it's solid enough, heavy enough. You can strike this way if the end looks like this. You've got these ridges you can strike with, come down with heavy shots, and you can disorient. You know, a bright light in someone's face is very, very disorienting, and it may buy you the second or 2 that you need to get back. Again, in areas where you can't carry weapons, you can carry things that are useful for day-to-day tasks that you can turn into a weapon. Think about it. You take something like this and you've been grabbed and you're trying to get away. Think about what it's going to feel like if you've got something like this in your hand and you can strike the assailant's head with something like this. It becomes a very painful equalizer really quickly. Now, in the real world, you'd be surprised what people can take. You'd be surprised how much pain people can take. But the bottom line is something like this coming down on an assailant's dome is going to hurt worse probably than your fist because it's going to be digging in ways your hands cannot. And if I put myself in the mind of the predator, no matter how determined I am, there's not going to be but so many shots I want to take to the corner of my head with this. This is the WUBEN T1, by the way. Third, pens. Most of us are carrying around ink pens. Now, it's preferred to get something solid like a tactical pen. And if you're in a country that's so strict where they say you can't even have a tactical pen, then just get you a solid metal pen. Carry that thing with you, just something solid enough that will allow you a quick strike, something to sting with really quick. You got to remember something. We're not like animals. Animals out here in the wild have stingers, a way to bite, a way to make you pay for trying to touch them. Humans are not really designed that way except for our fists and elbows and the parts of our body that we can strike with, but a lot of those things don't hurt and sting as bad as a quick puncture or a small object like this coming into a vital. Most of us are carrying pens around. every day for work, for this and that. It's not uncommon to have one. A pen is not a weapon. You can turn it into a weapon. And if you're not even allowed to have something like a tactical pen that's designed as a weapon if need be, you can get solid metal pens, just something that's got some sturdiness, something that can move into the target with enough force and not necessarily break on you. There's a brand of tactical pens on Amazon called Key-Peak. It's sturdy and well built. Maybe research to see if you're allowed to have something like that. And if you are, you've got a formidable self-defense tool in your hand. These are the tack pens from Key-Peak. Sometimes you can get 2 of these for like $9.99. It's very compact and solid. There's the glass breaker on the end there. Also an object to strike with. Now, a lot of these types of pens are going to be illegal in certain parts of the world, but you just, again, want to find one with a good construction. It doesn't have to be quite like this. You can also research tactical pens. There are some that don't look so tactical. The bottom line is you want something with a little bit of sturdiness. It don't need a ton of sturdiness, but it needs to be more than like typical plastic pen. I'm not encouraging you to flat out go around breaking the law by carrying things you're not allowed to carry, but I am encouraging you to use some ingenuity. And I hope you have found this video a help. I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Take care.